Zaaroor, a smart and curious 10-year-old, is walking home from school. As he passes a busy intersection, he suddenly hears a loud crash. He turns around to see two cars that have collided in the middle of the street. Zaaroor runs closer to the scene of the accident. The cars are badly damaged, and the drivers are standing outside, looking upset. One car is on the sidewalk, while the other is blocking traffic. Zaaroor notices that both drivers are arguing, pointing fingers at each other. The people around them are whispering, but no one is stepping in to help. Zaaroor feels a sense of urgency. He knows something must be done. He remembers that when there's an accident, the police need to come to investigate. He quickly pulls out his phone and dials 911. Hello, police? There's been an accident at the intersection of Maple Street and Pine Avenue. The operator on the other end listens carefully and asks, "Are the drivers okay? Are there any injuries?" Zaaroor looks at the two drivers. "They look fine, but they're very upset," he replies. The operator thanks Zaaroor for the information and reassures him that the police will arrive soon. "Please stay at a safe distance and do not try to move the cars. Help will be on the way." Zaaroor hangs up the phone and steps back. He watches as the drivers continue to argue. One of them looks frustrated and points at the other, while the other driver is waving their arms angrily. While waiting for the police, Zaaroor decides to help calm things down. He approaches one of the drivers. "Excuse me, sir, maybe it would help if you waited for the police to figure this out. Arguing won't solve anything." The driver looks at Zaaroor, still upset but nods. "You're right, kid. It's just so frustrating. I don't know what happened." Zaaroor smiles and steps back, realizing that sometimes a little patience is needed. The other driver sees Zaaroor talking to the first one and stops arguing. He walks over and says, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have yelled. It's a stressful situation." Zaaroor is glad to see the tension easing. As Zaaroor steps back to the sidewalk, he hears the sound of sirens in the distance. The police are on their way, just as the operator said. Zaaroor feels relieved. The police arrive, and Zaaroor steps forward to explain what he saw. The officers take over, directing the drivers to the side and asking them questions about the accident. Zaaroor watches quietly, understanding that the investigation has begun. One of the officers asks Zaaroor, "Thank you for your help. Can you tell us exactly what you saw?" Zaaroor recalls the details. "I saw the blue car running the red light, and the red car tried to stop but couldn't avoid the collision." The officer nods and thanks Zaaroor. "You did the right thing by calling us. Your information will help us understand what happened." Zaaroor smiles proudly, knowing that he made a difference. After some time, the officers finish their investigation. They talk to the drivers and make a report. The drivers shake hands and seem less angry now that everything is under control. As the scene begins to clear, Zaaroor walks home with a smile on his face. He thinks about how calling the police and staying calm helped the situation. Maybe when people have problems, it's not about arguing, sometimes, it's about calling for help and staying patient, he thinks to himself.